You've tuned in to the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
You realize what you've done?
With Rich Liebig.
The real gangster plays his cards, right?
And Michael Costanzo.
What was that you just read?
Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news.
Good times, noodle salad.
The point is, you now have the ability to be happy.
And now, here's Rich and Mike on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Woo! Yeah! How you guys doing?
What's up, everybody?
It's time for this week's episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. Folks, it's our job to give you those interesting bits in the world of sports, entertainment, odd news, and where else we happen to stumble across. Isn't that right, Mike?
That's right. We bring it to you with our unique sense of humor and wackiness. You never know what you're going to get here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
That's right. We have a couple topics prepared for you in sports, entertainment, and odd news. But we also have side dishes and other tangents that we go off on this crazy meal for your mind.
Ooh, yummy.
That is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Thank you guys for joining us on another interesting week. Another week to report on in crazy sports, entertainment, and odd news. But before we get to all of that, Mikey, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. This past week, I finished Netflix exclusive Sweet Tooth.
Okay.
And I've been playing PlayStation 5 exclusive Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Okay.
So a couple of entertainment things to touch on here. Sweet Tooth, if nobody's seen Sweet Tooth yet, I highly recommend it. It hits kind of close to home. It's about a world in which the world has been racked by this viral outbreak, right?
Which just appropriate for our times.
Appropriate, right? However, in this world, so society has collapsed.
Oh, fantastic.
Right, but don't worry, there's a glimmer of hope, and that hope comes in the form of children who are born part human, part animal. And then the dark part of the series, it gets very dark. Apparently, the comic is much darker. They said that this show was very hopeful. I don't know how hopeful it is because it gets dark at times because you learn through the series, and I don't want to give away too much in case anybody wants to watch it, but you learn through the series that these hybrids, as they're called in the show, are looked down upon and ostracized by the rest of society. And they're kind of, for lack of a better term, an endangered species at this point because they've been hunted to near extinction by the humans. Remember, they're kids. They're kids who are born with animal parts. Like the main character is part human boy and part deer. He's got like antlers and little ears that twitch. Okay. And he's like this cute little like 10-year-old, who's really inquisitive and and the whole story is about this kid going off in search of his mother. So he never knew his mother. He wants to go off and find his mother.
Who's a deer?
No, it's a human. But, it's interesting you say it because I think it's in the first episode, he sees a deer and he's like, Mama? And he thinks like because he's part deer, like maybe, But as viewers, it's weird.
How old is he supposed to be?
I think he's like 8 or 9 when he first sees Mama, are you a deer?
Mama, can you hear me?
Is that your impression of an 8-year-old?
I don't know. It could be any sort of.
So he sounded almost exactly like that. It's uncanny. But no, it's Sweet Tooth. It's really good. It's a great little character-driven story about the post-apocalypse. Great characters that you want to root for. Interesting backstories. I love the world that they've built there. Very creative, very fun. I love post-apocalyptic worlds. So I highly recommend Sweet Tooth. It's got pretty good reviews. Go check it out. It's short, 8 episodes. They're all like 30 to 40 minutes, so you can literally plow through it in a day or two. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart on PlayStation 5. Fantastic game. One of the first games that I've played that takes full advantage of the console and the new features available in it. Basically instantaneous loading times. The whole gimmick of the game is that, the multiverse is exploding. Multiverse is very alternate dimensions.
Why is multiverse so popular between this and
Loki
and
it's going to be the whole thing of Marvel Phase 4, but Ratchet and Clank does it wonderfully. So there's holes ripping open into new dimensions, and the gimmick is that you can go into these other dimensions, and the game is loading in completely
You know who was really ahead of this?
Who?
BioShock Infinite.
BioShock Infinite. It's true. Yes, they were. They were.
Yep.
So Ratchet and Clank has a similar gameplay mechanic with like opening dimensions and going into other dimensions, but it's way more seamless than BioShock Infinite because of the loading times. And you're not talking about like changing the skin over the world that's already there like BioShock Infinite did. It's opening completely new, like fully fleshed out levels with highly detailed environments and effects and everything, and it's doing it in the blink of an eye. So you're constantly switching between these different environments, traveling at really fast speeds, stuff that's only possible on the new consoles because of the speed of the hard drives. But I mean more than that, the little touches and nuances. I mean, it looks, I say this every time I talk about these games, but it looks like you're playing a Pixar movie. You can see the individual like tufts of fur on the character models. I mean, it's just a breathtakingly beautiful game and a lot of fun. So smooth, so fast, lots of crazy action. The screen is always filled with explosions and shrapnel, and pieces of the environment are flying all over the place around you. So it's a lot of fun. Highly recommend both Sweet Tooth and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart for those of you that have Netflix or a PlayStation 5.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Quick reviews there from Mike.
What have you been up to though?
I went to go see Black Widow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this your first movie back in theaters? Like real theaters?
Yeah.
Barring the renting out the theater the one time.
Yeah, barring the shenanigans that we did when we rented out a movie theater for my friend Anthony's birthday. Yeah, this was our first time back into a movie theater.
So first time back, went back in a big way with a Marvel movie. How was first the movie experience and then the movie itself? How's Marvel coming back?
Movie experience is just like you remember it. You still book your tickets. You go in. You have your reclining seats, and
it's nice though. It's empty, right?
Yeah, actually,
because I went like 2 weeks ago. It was like dead. It was amazing.
Right now, pretty much any time that you want to go see a movie, it's pretty much available.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
it should always stay that way.
Yeah, we did not have trouble getting our tickets. So, yeah, it's fine in terms of that and everything. Boy, I'm going to say, though, avoid the concession stands. Oh, my
really?
God. They are jacking up the prices.
Worse than
so
before?
So bad, yeah. But
what'd you get, a popcorn? How much did it cost you?
It was bad.
A 20? A 50?
I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's pretty bad. It's just popcorn, folks. It's... Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I get it, too. You're at the movies. You want the popcorn.
You walk in, you smell the popcorn.
You want it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But, it's going to hurt your wallet. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to hurt your wallet the next day.
It's the cost of a movie ticket, isn't it?
Just about. Yeah.
So a ticket for two is actually paying for 3.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get to the movie at hand. Black Widow. I saw it. It was decent. It's your standard summer blockbuster fare. I gotta say, Scarlett Johansson kind of in this movie, even though she's the lead and the movie is about her, I kind of feel like she is taking a seat in the background in this because
really
because the whole movie, without trying to spoil the whole plot of it, goes into like the family aspect, how the Black Widow program was made in the Soviet Union and how they were spying on the Americans and stuff like that. So suddenly her powers and stuff aren't unique ananymore. And now she's just kind of moving the story along. And so I kind of felt like she kind of got lost in the whole, in the whole scene of things.
Right.
The stars of this movie are Florence Pugh, I believe I'm saying her name right. She's the younger sister. She has a lot of great lines and comedic effects and stuff like that. And Mr. Stranger Things, and I can't remember his name right now.
David Harbour?
David Harbour, thank you. He also he knocks it out of the park. I loved him. He's like the uncool dad trying to be cool. It's hilarious. He hits the right notes for this role. It's perfect.
So it seems like you're mentioning a lot of comedic moments. Is this, there's 2 very distinct eras of Marvel movies. There's pre-Guardians and post-Guardians. Everything before Guardians was very serious. You think of the original Thor movie, which is very fantasy. And then after Guardians, everything is like happy-go-lucky, tongue-in-cheek. So is this a new era? Is this the post-Guardians era? Is this because you mentioned the comedy. It doesn't seem like a spy thriller would have a lot of.
Well, I'll tell you this. This movie, unfortunately, I think to its critical, to something that you can critique it on, it's not really that much of a spy thriller as you would think it is.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. This
And
movie,
that's a negative for you.
It is for me because I like spy thrillers and I like
Right.
stuff like that. But I feel like, and I get the reasoning why Disney and Marvel are trying to make this a more general product to get the blockbuster hype for
Right.
this movie.
Right.
But I think in the end it hurts its quality. That it should have leaned in a little more heavy on the spy plot.
Okay.
Instead, it kind of plays more direct down the middle, like a general blockbuster, because it has elements of the humor, has elements of action, but not too much of the action, and a little bit of spy, but not too much of the spy. Like it kind of, it's more general than it is.
Okay.
A specific
So
genre.
it's just a standard action film.
Yeah.
It's
Which-
it's like a not so absurd Fast and Furious movie.
There's some absurd parts. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, okay. So
But,
all right, so it's the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah,
No.
it's not. If you want to be honest,
I say that having never seen a Fast and Furious movie or Black Widow.
there's some wacky parts in Black Widow.
Okay.
But nevertheless, it's still, if you want just like a good summer blockbuster popcorn movie. Hopefully, you're not paying the expensive popcorn prices, but you want a good general popcorn movie. Yeah, it does the job.
Okay.
But in terms of like critical acclaim, I don't think it'll
Now,
last.
big question that has to get asked with Marvel movies. How do you think it works as a kickoff to Phase 4? Like where does this fit in?
It doesn't.
Is it essential viewing?
I hate
No?
to say it, but no, I don't think so. Because actually the whole
It's
the
a
whole
prequel,
movie,
right?
Yeah, the whole movie takes place actually during the Civil War,
Okay.
when she's on the run away from Iron Man and the
Okay.
U.S. Army because she broke the Slovenia Accords,
Right.
So it all takes place during that. It doesn't have anything to do with Thanos or Phase 4 or anything like that.
No hints of multiverse, or I guess
No.
you don't want to spoil anything.
Well, sorry,
Maybe
I
a
guess,
little
I
bit.
guess I am spoiling it, but yeah, no, it doesn't really have anything to do with Phase 4.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a little disappointing.
yeah.
I kind of felt that way. I feel like this movie should have been, they should have done a Black Widow movie way sooner.
Yeah, this should have came out
Like,
last phase.
so sidestep from, I know we have other topics to get to, but critique of the MCU in general. The one thing they did so spectacularly well in the first phase, and why we feel so close to Tony Stark and Iron Man and Captain America by the time we get to the final movie, is we had those individual films. We had the Iron Mans, we had the Captain Americas, we had the Thors, so that by the time we get to Infinity War and Endgame, we care for these characters and we understand where they've been. You don't get that with Black Widow. She's always the, oh yeah, end
Yeah.
character.
Yep.
And so now they're doing a prequel 25, 26, 27 movies into this, expanded universe. After Black Panther, after Ant-Man, after all these extra guys, Doctor Strange, after all these guys got solo movies, right before Shang-Chi. One of the original Avengers is at the same level as Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
So, you can't blame me for when major events happen in Endgame and Infinity War, and I think fans of the MCU know what I'm talking about, where, for me personally, I was kind of like, oh, that sucks.
Okay, there you go.
Am I wrong in that assessment? I was sad, but
Yep.
not heartbroken.
Okay, so there you go. We'll leave it at that. I don't want to get into spoiler territory in case people haven't seen it, but and also we got to move on. We got to jump into some sports topics. We got to go into our first segment that revolve around the sports world. It's time for the sports sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face! Ha ha!
Sports coming at you in your face, and we're going to hit a couple topics as fast as we can within 2 minutes or less in the 2-minute drill. You ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
All right. There you go. Clock is on. What do you got?
All right, first up, we have an update on Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson. Fox Sport legal analyst Amy Dash reported that she believes it's highly unlikely that all the civil cases against Deshaun Watson could just go away. She revealed that there is a lull in information since they're in the middle of the discovery phase, and depositions will begin in the fall, with Watson potentially facing up to 60 hours of questioning.
That's crazy. I didn't know it was going to be that. That's a lot.
Well, there's 20-some women coming up against him, so yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of questioning.
And because of that, you know, she thinks that this thing could drag on and on throughout the fall, maybe into next year. She also expects that we might hear more from Houston Police Department concerning criminal charges before the depositions are even completed. So she closes the interview by saying, quote, "This is not over," end quote. Rich, Deshaun Watson, what are the odds of playing in 2021?
0.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.
I don't see it happening. Even if he does get away with all this stuff, he's going to be placed on the commissioner's list.
I think he's damaged, and he's done for at least 2021, maybe even part of 2022.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
You know who else is not looking good for, Rich? Is the Jets. They have a quarterback situation of their own. I'm going to let you take this one because you are heated.
Quick, I will give you $100 if you can name the backup quarterback to the Jets in the next 5 seconds. The answer is you cannot, because they have 3 quarterbacks on their roster. Number 1 is Zach Wilson, the drafted rookie that they got this year. Their second string is James Morgan, a 4th-round pick in 2020 who didn't play last year. And their third string is Mike White, who was drafted by the Cowboys in 2018, who has never played a season game. That means the Jets have 3 quarterbacks on their roster, and not a single one of them has played during the regular season. What the hell is happening?
That was perfect timing.
Thank you. But seriously, what the hell are the Jets doing? That is ridiculous.
Yeah, you know, so...
That is ridiculous.
So we talked about this before the show, and you're like, this is insane. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I said that, yeah, it sounds crazy, but it's also the Jets, so it's not that crazy. You know, they're trying to actively tank, right? I mean, you don't roll out there with 0 NFL passes between 3 quarterbacks expecting to win more than 5-6 games, right?
But come on, it's not like there's not veteran talent avaviable.
There is.
RG3 is
right.
available.
Nick Foles could be easily got for a 6th or 7th round pick.
Yeah, you can trade for Nick Foles. Ryan Lindley, I know he's not the ideal quarterback to have, but at least he's played during the regular season.
You mentioned also before recording that Josh McCown
technically is not retired.
At the age of, I don't know, like
42?
What, 59? Oh, 42. Same
Yeah.
difference in the NFL.
Yeah, he's Tom Brady. He's around Tom Brady's age.
2 completely different careers.
It is. But still, there's options there, and
Yeah.
the Jets are just ignoring it, and I can't believe that. 3 quarterbacks in that quarterback room, and not a single one has played a regular season snap in the NFL.
All of them less than 3 years experience as well.
Yeah.
Like, that is a very young, untested group. It's going to be an interesting year for the Jets.
Oh, boy.
We have an extra game against them, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
That's our 17th game.
That's our 17th game.
So mark that down as an L for the Eagles.
Yeah, perfect. We're going to make Zach Wilson look like a star.
I want to see Mike White. Can you imagine?
Mike White.
A
yeah.
more bland name. That's
Here
coming.
we go.
That's coming from another Mike. That is a bland name.
Mike White. Mike White. Yeah. His favorite ice cream is vanilla because chocolate is too spicy.
Ooh, that's spicy chocolate.
It's too spicy. Can't have that. Mike White.
Mike White. Well, you know what else is spicy? This Aaron Rodgers quarterback drama. I swear the quarterback drama continues here in the sports sampler. Per Adam Schefter, the Packers offered Aaron Rodgers a 2-year contract extension that would have tied him to Green Bay for 5 more seasons and made him the highest paid quarterback and player in football. Rodgers apparently declined the offer. Yeah, it's adding a bit more intrigue. So is this more than just money? I mean, is he really done in Green Bay? And will this story ever end? I mean, we're going to roll into week 1 still questioning this, I think.
Well, Green Bay, their training camp, I think, starts this weekend.
Okay, that means absolutely nothing.
What do you do? I at this point...
At this point, his trade value is in the toilet because now teams know he doesn't want to be there.
What will satisfy Aaron Rodgers at this point? not the money.
I think that this is really a story of jilted lovers. Like, Green Bay wanted it their way. Aaron Rodgers wanted it his way. Neither of them could agree to something, and now they're just approaching each other with these scenarios out of spite, you know? Green Bay's like, we'll give you all the money. He's like, no, I don't want the money. I want your love. And Green Bay's like, well, we don't have any to give you.
We only have Jordan Love.
We only have Jordan Love. That's the only love we can give you. Like, I don't know what the outcome of this will be because nothing makes sense anymore. Like, if it was about the money, now wait, hold on. Here's the thing. Here, you know, the way it's written would have made him the highest paid quarterback. Was it guaranteed money? You know, how many guarantees were in the contract? Well, did it have lots of void years? You know, there's a lot of other circumstances and variables here. Like, maybe it's like, oh yeah, $200 million, but only 15 is guaranteed. And if he sneezes the wrong way, you know, he loses $10 million or whatever because he's like 40 years old.
Right. We don't know if that was guaranteed money. It probably wasn't.
Because I think the thing is that he wants long-term security and he also wants the money. He wants it all. And he's Aaron Rodgers. He's deserving of it all, but he's clearly not going to get it from Green Bay.
No, not at this stage.
So at this rate, it's just wasting everyone's time to keep up the charade. I mean, he's either got to say that he's, you know, sitting out or officially request a trade, like publicly say, I want out. You know, it's all this tiptoeing and beating around the bush by both sides. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, but another thing, too, is it really going to come out the way he wants it to? Because
no, it's never going.
Now we're too far along in the off season. I don't think there's no way Green Bay can trade him at this point. So that's not an option. His options are really either he plays for Green Bay or he sits out an entire year.
This is what I don't understand. He's never had issues with health and reliability and consistency before. Just go out there, give it 80%. Don't give it 110. No, seriously. Go out there, do the bare minimum.
Do the Tom Brady method. Get the ball out in 5 seconds or less, and just don't get sacked.
Right. Exactly. Just if you feel heat, roll out, toss it out of the sideline, out of bounds. You know, do the bare minimum. You'll still be better than the vast majority of quarterbacks because you're Aaron Rodgers. You have great escape valves, and your running game is good. You got good wide receivers. Just coast this season, and then you're a free man. I don't understand why we got to go through this whole rigmarole for what I assume is just going to be a regular Green Bay Packers season. They're going to roll out there, they're going to get 10-plus wins, they're going to make it to the playoffs, they're going to lose. Everybody goes on their merry way.
There you go.
As is tradition. It's a tale as old as time. It's Beauty and the Beast here. It's been that way for a decade. I'm not expecting anything more or less. So
as is tradition.
As is tradition. Am I wrong?
The only thing is maybe Aaron Rodgers does sit out. Maybe this is a sign that he really just doesn't care about the Green Bay Packers anymore.
Maybe.
Which, to be honest with you, if he's that far gone, maybe he does sit out the season. Because here's something you don't want from Aaron Rodgers. You don't want to come back into 2021 half-ass it and then get hurt or even you fall the wrong way. Just, you know, ridiculous things can happen while you're out there on the football field.
We've seen it happen before where players have sat out. Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah. Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, I mean.
And he got paid afterwards.
Not as much as he thought he would. But, yeah, he did get paid eventually at some point.
I mean, for the amount of yards he's gained since then, he's getting paid pretty well.
Yeah. So
Don't pay running backs.
So, to be honest with you, I think that those are your two choices. But maybe the option to sit out 2021 might be a higher percentage than we're all thinking.
Really?
Maybe. I mean,
can Aaron Rodgers actually sit out, though? He is such a fierce competitor. He loves the game. Everything I've ever read about him says, you know, this is what he loves to do. And
yep.
he is, like, insane about it. Can he find it within himself to just sit on the sidelines and watch Jordan Love take over, potentially have success with his team?
Yeah.
And then the Packers were like, you know what? We knew it wouldn't work out with you. Then they're right.
Yep.
You know, this turned from a win-win for Aaron Rodgers into a lose-lose for Aaron Rodgers. Because I feel like the longer this goes on, the more likely he's just going to end up playing under the current terms of the contract, you know, winning them another 12 games and ultimately going nowhere.
Yeah, but like you said, he's probably going to half-ass it. He's probably not going to.
I say run at 80%.
Yeah, 80%, and
He'll still throw 30.
Don't take the sacks.
He'll still throw 30 touchdowns for 3,500 yards. 60-some% completion. He'll make it to the Pro Bowl. He'll be fine. He'll get a monster deal somewhere else. Tampa Bay will be done with Brady and sign Rodgers next, and they'll win another Super Bowl.
All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see.
Or the Jets.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. But man, it literally has been.
The Jets sign Aaron Rodgers just like they signed Brett Favre.
Dear God.
Their careers are almost matching up.
If he went to the Jets, that would be hilarious.
I'm just saying. You just said they got no quarterbacks.
Yeah.
With any experience. I'm looking. It's like a narrative thread here, right?
There you go. 3rd round pick. Send us Aaron Rodgers. Thank you. There you go. That's what the Jets do.
You heard it here first, folks.
All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see how this drama unfolds because it literally has been every week of the offseason.
I'm tired.
A new Aaron Rodgers story.
I just want Aaron Rodgers to retire.
I'm
done talking about
this.
Get
out. Done.
This and Watson, they should just both retire, go off into the sunset holding hands, and then Watson goes to jail and Aaron Rodgers goes and hosts Jeopardy. And everybody's happy. Everybody's happy.
There you go. Go host Jeopardy.
Would that outcome anger a single person?
Maybe my friend Corey from the Game Show Marathon because he's been blasting.
He doesn't like Rodgers.
He doesn't like Rodgers as host of Jeopardy. So that'd be funny if that happened. I'd have to text him. Sorry.
You just gotta poke him a little bit.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. All the football news there, but we are still not done with sports because we have one last major to talk about in the world of golf.
Woo, golf.
Woo, golf, yes. It's golf. And it was the British Open this past weekend, the last major of 2021. And we may have a brand new superstar on our hands here.
Okay.
We have Colin Morikawa, who won the PGA Championship last year. He won this British Open, his first British Open, by the way. So that makes him 2 different major debuts. He won both the majors that he debuted in.
Okay.
So pretty dominant there. He also becomes only one of 6 golfers since 1934 ever to win 2 majors before turning the age of 25.
That's unfair.
What's unfair?
The fact that we're 32 and this guy's just winning major championships.
Hey, man.
It happens.
He's putting in the work.
He is. No, props him. That's incredible.
Yes. Also, speaking of youth dominating here, Jordan Spieth actually was in the running in this. He finished second, just 2 strokes behind. Remember Jordan Spieth?
He was one of the first golf names that I remember talking about in this podcast. I mean, in the early days.
That stat, one of 6 golfers ever to win 2
Jordan
majors.
Spieth is one of the other ones.
The last one was Jordan Spieth. So
now we're going to talk about how Colin Morikawa is the next big guy, and then he's going to fall off the face of the earth just like Jordan Spieth, because that's what Jordan Spieth disappeared.
Yeah, he did for a couple of years after they collapsed at the Masters.
Do you think Colin Morikawa has what it takes to continue this trend?
I think he does.
Because Jordan Spieth was very, from what I understand, from what I remember, he was very risky.
Yeah.
In his approach. He was trying to shoot over water and
very aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Morikawa, I feel he's just very consistent. And what really was sticking out was his putting game at the British Open. A lot of the greens usually for the British Open is usually very tricky.
Okay.
And he was just handling it like it was nobody's business.
Yeah, it's not just about driving. You got to be able to do the short game, right?
Right. See Bryson DeChambeau in just a minute.
Uh-oh.
But he might be the next big thing for golf. Morikawa, 2 majors before turning 25. He wins a cool $2 million for this. So there you go. Enjoy that money. Don't spend it all in one place.
Yeah.
But I think I really like the idea that this is the major where the youth of the golf world seem to come out in full force between Morikawa and Spieth.
Okay.
So there you go.
It's good to have a youth movement in golf.
Yes. So unfortunately, that's the last major of the year, so we'll have to end it on that note. However, there's one more thing I want to mention in the golf world, and we've been talking about Brooks Koepka versus Bryson DeChambeau, this rivalry that was going back and forth. Well, Bryson DeChambeau had some other headlines that he created at the British Open. Unfortunately, on the opening round on Thursday, he had a poor round to start off the British Open. And he randomly, in the post-round interview, attacked his own sponsored driver company.
Did he know? Like, did he know that it was like a sponsorship deal?
Yeah, he knows, yeah.
Here's where you have to be very careful as a celebrity and as a public-facing figure. You have to actually like the products that you sponsor.
Yes, that helps.
Because, one, it's you do a better job. When we sound like we're shilling for Netflix or a video game, it's because we love those things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Right? We feel personally invested in them. So I would have no problem shilling for any of these things. Bryson DeChambeau, he's getting the sponsorship, and he doesn't even like it. So you have situations like this. I'm reading this here. Go ahead. Let us know what he said. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, so he said this in a post-game interview after post-round interview on Thursday. Quote, with the driver right now, man, the driver sucks. It's not a good face for me, and we're still trying to figure out how to make it good on my mishits. I'm living on the razor's edge.
What is it?
Ooh, bad boy. He's such a bad boy. I'm living on the razor's edge.
What does that even mean in terms of golf?
Yeah, oh boy. But definitely was viewed as being very unprofessional, immature. This got all the hype for the bad reasons. Bryson DeChambeau later apologized to Cobra, his sponsored driver company. But man,
well, guess whose drivers he won't have to worry about in the future?
Yeah, if I assume he's not going to be carrying a Cobra anytime soon. But ultimately, between this and then the pointless kind of back and forth rivalry with Brooks Koepka, people are starting to wonder, is Bryson DeChambeau now more immature than he is kind of a novelty?
Yes.
This is kind of a pretty big red flag in terms of this question.
Yeah, I think we touched on it last week when we said that Bryson DeChambeau was kind of a jerk, obnoxious. He's just not a good public face for golf. I think that might be the reason why they don't have the death match face-off between him and Brooks Koepka. Because Brooks Koepka kind of strikes me as the good guy. Here's Bryson DeChambeau dissing on his sponsors, starting rivalries with other golfers, just being a general, bonehead.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately, after these random comments that he made about his own sponsored driver, that's just such a dumb move. I mean, you're putting not just your reputation on the line, but now your actual sponsorship deals, your actual finances.
And also, this bothers me because he's blaming the driver. He's blaming the equipment, not his ability.
Right, not his performance.
It would have been so simple to say, I just got to go back out there and focus on the fundamentals. Boom, done. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Literally everybody's happy. It's a nothing statement, means nothing, shows nothing, explains nothing. Everybody would have been fine. Golf would have been like, oh, very mature. Yes, true. He does have to get back to the fundamentals. Breathtaking analysis.
Yeah.
Everybody would have been fine. Instead, he makes this stupid comment, angers literally everyone.
Yep. It also just shows he doesn't view himself as accountable.
No.
That he's willing to blame it on the driver.
He blames it on the equipment. It's like if a football player noticed that a football was deflated by 0.01 ounces and throw a whole hissy fit that they lost by 40 points. That would never happen because that would be insane.
I swear to God, you're a Tom Brady fan.
I'm not a Tom Brady fan. It was just so stupid.
You are such a Tom Brady fan. You randomly defended Tom Brady in the middle of our golf segment.
No, I'm not defending Tom Brady. I'm just saying the Colts are stupid.
They are. I will give you that.
They just traded for Carson Wentz.
The Colts are pretty weird. But at the same time, you did go out of your way just now to defend Tom Brady in Deflategate.
I didn't defend Tom Brady.
Yes, you did. You totally just did. You really are a secret Tom Brady fan. Enter this as evidence. No. Evidence A. Your Honor.
What honor are you talking to?
Your Honor.
You think judges watch this?
Honor out there in the internet land. Exhibit A. My opponent is a secret Tom Brady fan.
Whatever.
That's Exhibit A, right?
That's Exhibit A. Rich is entering it into evidence.
And enter that in the official record. I want that in the record. That was so random. I don't know.
However, it was an astute and accurate observation.
I guess you're right. Yes, it is accurate.
You don't blame the equipment.
Right. That's not
unless the equipment is literally broken or non-functional.
Yeah, that's not what a mature adult should be doing.
Right.
So, in principle, I agree with you, but I think it's weird how we got to this conclusion.
I'm just trying to spice it up, man.
Yeah, I don't quite know how to feel about this.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we got to the same conclusion. We hope Bryson DeChambeau
he's gotta
grow up.
He's gotta grow up.
He's gotta grow up. That's the bottom line here, because this, especially in the golf world, this stuff won't fly.
No, golf does not seem like the sport where they would appreciate something like this. They're very stuck up. They still have like country clubs where they bar access to people. It's like,
So we'll see how that goes in the future for Bryson DeChambeau. But the good news is, on the exit out of that's probably going to be the last golf topic. That's the last major of 2021. So
that's a shame. It was just getting spicy.
Yeah, randomly defending Tom Brady in the random of the PGA.
Yeah.
So there you go.
If I can bring it back to football, I always enjoy it.
All right. Well, there you go. We're done with golf, at least for the time being, it looks like. And we're done for sports right now. That was a lot of sports news to enjoy, so we're going to take a little bit of a break. But coming up next, we got the entertainment entree, the non-fortune cookie odd news, and then we also have a side dish when we come right back from the break. We're going to try out some interesting foods. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. If you go to Taco Bell at 3 a.m, this is what you're going to get. Yeah,
that clip is already coming into play.
Yes, already. So there you go.
Stop.
What happened?
The thing went on.
Well, how did that turn on?
I don't know. The fart sound.
The fart sound turned Amazon on?
I think the fart sound turned on my Echo.
What the hell?
I don't know. It turned on.
What are you doing, Jeff Bezos? What are you into?
Bezos, he's listening to fart sounds.
He's listening to our fart sounds. Oh, my God.
I changed the trigger word to fart. I got to fart at it now. I don't know what happened.
That's really awkward. You're going to have to... Excuse me.
Excuse me. How can I help you?
You may need some bowel.
Do you want me to automatically order you Pepto-Bismol? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm talking to it solely through farts now.
It actually, you fart into it.
Fart once for yes and twice for no.
No. Actually, you fart into the device, and then Amazon can determine what medicine you need.
Oh, right. Wow. That's next level right there. Or what you've been eating and what you want to reorder. I detect Cheetos. Would you like to subscribe?
Would you like a bulk order of Cheetos?
Oh, yes, please.
Cheetos ordered.
Cheetos. That story took a turn.
Yeah.
Cheetos ordered.
Okay. All right. There you go. The latest from Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
It's amazing technology, I tell you.
Yeah. We're going to talk about 22-year-old Matthew Kyle Letham. And he decided to call police at 4:45 in the morning because he couldn't find a ride home after the bar at 4:45 in the morning. But that is not the actual oddity of this story. Police encountered Matthew Letham on the scene, and that's when they noted that this dude actually has a tattoo of the state of Florida in between his two eyebrows.
Oh my God.
Yes, and I have his mugshot. So here we go.
He's literally Florida man.
Yes.
He's like a superhero Florida man, and that is like his logo.
He is Mr. Florida Man. So
I mean, it's the most harmless Florida story we've ever had.
Yeah, except for the fact that dude has a tattoo
Is stupid.
That will last the rest of his life that he cannot hide.
You cannot undo that. Every job interview he goes to, the very first thing they're going to see and question is the Florida tattoo. Yeah.
It's literally like, can I touch it? Like, it's right there.
You know the scene in Austin Powers Goldmember? The guy who has the mole?
Yeah.
Moly, 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 moly. Yeah. It is that, except with Florida on his forehead. Is anybody more proud of their home state than that guy? Nope.
Can't say it. I can't say.
Nope.
I can't think of anybody else.
Nope.
So,
I love Pennsylvania, but not that much.
No, I do not want. Pennsylvania is a big state too. I do not want that on my forehead.
It's very square or rectangular. It would, yeah. What's the weirdest state to get tattooed to a forehead? I think. What do you think would be the weirdest one? I mean, I think Florida because the way it's shaped.
Florida's pretty weird. California would be weird because it's
very long,
and then it juts out.
No, Michigan.
Ooh, yeah. Because they got
Michigan.
all those like Great Lakes and stuff.
Yeah, and it's split in half.
Ugh, yeah, that would not be good.
That'd be a weird one.
Yeah.
Alaska. Oh, Oklahoma. I was gonna say Alaska.
Oklahoma, you have to get the box, and then you have to get that little dinky panhandle that goes the other half of your head.
You're literally making yourself a unibrow, and then like it has like a little hat on it.
Yeah. Ew.
What about Alaska? You have that whole chain of islands coming off the side. It's gonna like go around the side of your head almost.
Yeah.
This is the dumbest conversation we've ever had. In 8 years of podcast, I think it's safe to say that talking about the weirdest state to tattoo to your forehead, probably the dumbest thing we've ever talked about.
It's 2021, man.
And we were like actually analyzing. You're like, oh yeah, and the islands, and we're like, yeah, that makes sense. There's something fundamentally broken with us, Rich, in 2021.
It's 2021. Nothing makes sense anymore. It's
the
that
pandemic.
simple.
The pandemic's gone on too long, Rich. We've hit a breaking point.
Yeah. All right.
Next week we're both going to show up with states tattooed to our foreheads.
Dear God. Yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Is Barry ever coming back?
It will, yeah. Actually, I think they're filming, which is what this music is from. That's why.
Yeah, I know. Everybody listening is like, what is he talking about?
Who's Barry?
Who's Barry? Barry was supposed to be our third co-host when we started 8 years ago. He just never showed up.
Right. Whoops.
No, Barry is a fantastic HBO dark comedy.
The forgotten third member.
The forgotten third member
of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Whoops. No, that's the show Barry. And this is the theme song from it. We both love that show. It will be back. They're filming season 3.
Okay, I've forgotten everything.
All right, fantastic. Thanks.
Do you find that?
If it's been a while, yeah, that you forget.
Better Call Saul, nothing. Barry, nothing.
Okay.
It's like they never have. Like my mind is shot anymore if I'm not binging a series in the course of 2 weeks.
Okay, well, something else that you may have forgotten is that we do the sports, the entertainment, and the non-fortune cookie odd news, but sometimes we will go off the beaten path and we will attempt to do a side dish. And we're going to do a side dish here where we're actually going to try a side dish, and it is from the Foods of the World subscription pack that Mike is subscribed to.
Universal Yums sent me another box. I should send this segment to them. And
Yeah, try and get some more.
You guys are
free
awesome,
swag,
right? Exactly. Oh, this is not free. I willingly pay for this because it's awesome.
Yeah,
you got a snack box delivered to your door from a random country every month. This month's country is Greece. So we have a whole bunch of Greek snacks. We're going to be trying 2 of them right now in the side dish.
All right. So what's the first one up here?
All right. So did you want to play the side dish music?
No. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
It's not working.
Okay. I was waiting. I was waiting for it. So first off,
we run a tight ship here. Whoops.
We've only been doing this for forever.
Whoops. Just launch right in. Sorry.
So right here in the side dish, we got the first snack up is a grape must cookie. Whatever.
Must?
Like it's musty? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, what is a must?
I don't know, but here's what the package looks like. If anybody, watch out, it's opened.
Oh, it's open. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Grape must soft cookie. I'll try to show it. Yeah, you shouldn't. There it is.
So grape
must soft cookie.
Grape must mustaculura
Is it
cookie.
must? M-U-S-T?
It's this word here. Read that to the folks.
Okay. Mustaculura cookie.
There you go.
That's what I'm going with. I am the Satan's number proclaimer. There you go.
That's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, I haven't done that one in a while.
So here's what it says here. Folks don't often use the word musty to describe good things, usually basements or socks. We found the exception. These soft cinnamony cookies are meant to be musty. They're made with literal grape must, a thick mixture made up of freshly pressed juice, skins, seeds, and stems of the grape, usually prepared at the first step of winemaking. So they're taking all the leftover bits from the grapes they use to make wine.
I'm not going to lie.
The stems, the seeds. It's a dense boy, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks way dry.
Well, good thing you have a bottle of water there.
Yeah.
It's like literally falling apart.
It is. So we need to eat this.
All right,
it's going to get into our equipment.
All right, let's dive right in. There's a grape must cookie from Greece.
Okay, here we
Cheers.
go. Going in.
Oh my God.
No.
This was a bad decision for a podcast. This took all the moisture out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh. No. No. Oh.
Oh man, it just. You know what? This cookie would be great with milk or coffee to dunk it in because it just soaks it all up.
Whatever the
Oh, this was a bad decision, Rich.
Whatever the opposite of moist is, this is the complete opposite of it. Oh.
All right, hold on. We both got to take a drink break.
Oh man. It's like a gingerbread cookie gone extremely wrong. I don't know what to tell you. Ugh.
So, the taste, I don't mind the taste. The taste is good. It's cinnamony. It's kind of grapey. But my thing is that it's just so, I don't know if it's dry. I don't know what to describe it as. It just literally just soaks up all the moisture.
Yeah. That was...
It's not good for eating and talking.
No.
We're just actively cleaning up the soundboard and the crumbs because this cookie just falls apart. It didn't get in it, did it?
It kind of got exploded.
Oh no!
But it doesn't taste bad, but the texture just eats up all the moisture in your mouth.
Yeah, no. Taste wise, I think it's fine. The must is accurate. It's very pasty. Okay, maybe
if you go to the dentist and you need to have a dry mouth, eat one of those before you do it.
Yeah. I said, not bad tasting, just
Mustalakakala, that sucked.
Mustaculura cookie.
Mustaculura, that sucked.
Grape must, wow.
Woo. Okay.
Well, maybe this next one will be...
I'm back. I got my water back.
Maybe this one will be better. Go ahead, show this off to the camera. We have a prickly pear Turkish delight. So it's Greek loukumi inspired by a cactus fruit.
Okay.
So the write-up says both countries were once part of the Ottoman Empire, so they have a lot of cuisine in common. Speaking of Turkish delight and being in a Greek box, Turkish delight, or lukumi, as it's known in Greece, is the perfect example. After spreading from Istanbul to Greece in the early 19th century, locals quickly made it their own. Prickly pear is usually covered in spines.
Just so we're aware here, this one I'm aware is messy, so I'm gonna just pop it in right here, so I don't. I already made the board a mess, so I'm gonna try.
I know.
Eat it over here.
We picked the messiest snacks. We're just like literally hiding it from the equipment. Oh my gosh, it's so powdery.
It's so powdery.
You have napkins. Use the napkins.
I don't know if you can. It's literally white. It's white with like a pinkish hue.
Oh man. Oh, these are so messy.
I'm going in. Just going in. Kind of gummy. It's like
It is. It's the jelly of a prickly pear.
It's like
It's like not overly sweet.
It's like a powdered Swedish fish kind of a thing.
It's a powdered, like soft Swedish fish.
Yeah.
It's very.
I don't mind.
It's very sweet.
That one I don't mind. That's pretty good.
That's why it's sweet.
That's why it's sweet.
The only ingredients are sugar, water, and cornstarch.
All right. Sounds like my kind of snack. Load up on the sugar.
There's literally no nutritional value in this except for the 22 sugars. Do you want another sugar bomb?
Not right now, but
okay, maybe after the show.
Yeah.
So,
but there you
was
go.
Interesting.
We tried 2 special snacks from Greece in the side dish there. One was a hit, and one definitely not so much.
So I'll say this: I love Greek food. Greek food is one of my favorite cuisines. That it's like tough to find Greek places to get like moussaka and like grape leaves around here. Like I'm always on the search for good moussaka. I was not a huge fan of either of those.
Not either one? Because I like the prickly pear one.
The prickly pear one was okay. It was just really, it was like overly sweet for me.
Okay.
But the dry cookie, the grape must cookie, it was like eating a mouthful of like sweet saltine crackers. How it just like literally like soaks up all the moisture in your mouth.
That was bad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just maybe this particular company.
That may have been the worst thing we could have chose for a podcast because I was not. I felt like I did not have the ability to talk after.
I was not prepared for that. We picked these out because they sounded the strangest.
Yeah.
Like, oh, grape must. That sounds interesting. Like, I ate that and immediately. I was like, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to talk.
Oh no.
Yeah. So there you go. The side dish with universal yums.
There you go. Quick side dish there for you. All right. Well, Mike, do you have your water? Do you have your liquids in your mouth back?
I think I'm good to continue the show.
All right, good. Because we got to get into the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty? Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, there we go. We're back.
So for video viewers, you can see Rich meticulously cleaning the soundboard.
Yeah, I had to clean up the area there.
I don't know what happened over there. That cookie exploded on you or something.
Yeah.
Look, this soundboard's made it through like 8 years. We're not letting a cookie take it down, okay?
No, we still need another 8 years out of this.
That's right.
All right. But speaking of things that we need things out of, Mike, I need your assistance because it's time for your segment, Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mike, what should people keep an eye out for this weekend?
All right, well, first up, there's not a lot out in movies this week, but I had to say something about this because while researching this topic I noticed there was a weird trend of biodramas coming out this week. Like, there's 3 different biopics premiering at the same time, and I'm like, what is happening? Why did they decide this week in July all the biographies are going to hit theaters and streaming services? So if you're a big biography fan, this is a great week for you. You're living your best life right now. So go check out all those biopics and biodramas coming out. But if you're literally anyone else, stick to TV because it's a big week in TV, because this week marks the beginning of the 2020 Tokyo Summer Olympics Pandemic Edition. That's right, they're keeping the year 2020 as part of the title because nothing makes sense anymore.
Yeah, also, by the way, you might want to tune in because...
it's going to be a wild Olympics.
Yeah, but also there have been reports saying that canceling at any point during these Olympics is not out of the question.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, add that to the list of growing controversies and oddities, from the Sha'Carri Richardson suspension to anti-sex beds made of cardboard.
We didn't even get into that.
COVID scares, record heat waves, the potential of cancellation. Look, watch the opening ceremony this Friday because that might be all you get.
Yeah,
okay,
that
folks.
might be it.
So, there's calls for Tokyo to just cancel it.
Yeah. And that's not a far-fetched idea.
Right. So we'll see. Tune in to the opening ceremony set for this Friday, July 23rd. On the lighter side of things, though, 13-time Emmy nominee comedy series Ted Lasso returns to Apple TV Plus for its 2nd season this Friday. Ted's soccer team is still struggling to win after an up-and-down first year as coach, but now they're bringing in a sports psychologist to help out. It's not too late to jump on the bandwagon. It's only 10 episodes in the first season. It's a real quick watch. All the episodes are like less than 40 minutes. And Apple releases episodes, either 1 or 2 episodes weekly, so there's plenty of time to catch up and start watching the 2nd season as well. So go check out Ted Lasso. It's expected to win big at the Emmys this year. You definitely want to jump on this bandwagon. And finally, in video games, Last Stop is a new third-person narrative adventure game coming to all current and previous-gen consoles plus PC. Players guide 3 interconnected characters through a supernatural crisis by choosing dialogue and completing mini-games, with themes focusing on secret lives, the ties that bond, and how magic can be found in the mundane. The game comes from a very small indie developer who also made the Twin Peaks-like Virginia in 2016 with similar abstract and odd themes. So if you're a fan of narrative games, otherwise known as walking sims, you'll probably find this one compelling. So if that sounds interesting, go check out Last Stop, out now on all current and previous gen consoles. And that's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right. I feel like that last one you put there for me, that sounds like a game I would enjoy.
So I played Virginia. It was interesting. It was like a little cop drama, but like had like a lot of weird like fever dream sequences. Where like dreaming of like buffalo attacking like gas stations. It was very odd.
What?
So hopefully Last Stop is a little less odd, but still very abstract and ethereal.
Well, as long as you make a Twin Peaks reference, I'll be happy.
That's a yes.
That's a yes.
That's a yes.
Go check out Virginia and Last Stop if you want some good Twin Peaks action.
But you haven't heard that sound clip in a while.
No, I'm loving. I got to mention. Yeah, we've talked about it before, plenty of times. But now that we're back in person, just having the setup, having the sound clips back. I mean, just the sound, also the music beds, just adds another element to the show. I love it.
That's a yes.
And it's great because now people can watch you play the sound clips. So everybody can watch how Rich is just like hovering, waiting. He's like waiting. He's like, say it.
I want to push.
I want to push. Rich is just like waiting for me to say certain things like boop, boop, boop.
I have to push. Hello. There you go. Another Twin Peaks sounder there.
But moving on.
Yes.
We have more video game news. Big announcements in the world of video games. Steam releasing a new handheld called Steam Deck.
Yep.
To compete with the Nintendo Switch. They made this announcement. Really big news. It's basically like a tiny computer in a very dense little package, roughly about a foot long and kind of thick. This handheld boasts a 7-inch screen, 2 thumbsticks, and 2 mini trackpads. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it can be configured with up to 512 gigabyte solid state drive. Rich, have you seen the Steam Deck? What do you make of this? Is this does this make sense for PC gamers? What is this about?
I think this is interesting because I do think you have a segment of the gaming population that is, PC only, PC master race. PC is where it's at. I don't want to be limited by what the consoles tell me what console I need to get. I don't want to be limited by whether it's PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, or Xbox 360 or Xbox Series 1. I want to have my rig and I want to run with it. But then with something like that, unless you get a laptop, usually you're kind of stuck with wherever your gaming setup is.
Right.
But now, if you throw in this Steam Deck, now you can game on the go and not go for a laptop. You can now save your money, splurge it on the custom PC, and then whatever's left over, put it to the Steam Deck, and you've got both bases covered.
Yeah, so I have to say this. I always want to play more computer games because I like sim games, like my Jurassic Park Builder, the Roller Coaster Tycoons, what's that one called? City Skylines.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that. And on the console, it's not, it's good, but this doesn't really. It's weird because it's like, would this promote me playing more PC games, or is this just another Switch? Is this going to convince anybody who, like me, games mostly on console to play more PC games, or is this strictly for PC gamers who want to be on the go?
I think it's more the latter, to be honest with you.
But does it offer enough power for those individuals? Because to me, it seems like, because PC gamers, hashtag PC Master Race, they're always like, oh, if you don't have, a 3800 TX super duper video card, you're nothing and you can't run any games. So, is this going to be powerful enough for those types of gamers? Or are they going to have to, you always have to make concessions with portability.
Yes, but, something that I think gets lost in the shuffle of, the whole thing with graphics cards and all the hoopla with graphics cards being shot through the roof in terms of prices and stuff like that. Actually, for most Steam games, you just need a graphics card that's been made within the last 4 or 5 years, I would say. Every now and then, Steam releases a survey of what is the most popular graphics cards that is being used on their servers. And the last 3 years, it's been a GTX 1070.
Right, which came out years ago.
Right. So, for most games, you don't really... Most games, there are exceptions. You don't... Even though you would like to have a 30, an RTX 3070 or something like that, that's really just if you want to get ridiculous 140 frames per second and
ray tracing,
2K,
HDR, all the bells and whistles.
In terms of actually running the game, you don't actually, for most games, you don't need something super expensive. Right. And I think that's where this comes in to show you that Steam is pretty confident that most of the games that work in the Steam library will work on the Steam Deck mobile.
So I will say this. I do like the fact that PC games are scalable, and this thing only packs a 1280 by 800 screen.
Right.
So you're not going to get 4K resolution. This isn't even 1080p. It's not even full HD. So, you don't have to push crazy graphics on this device. So that is a fair point. And also in terms of compatibility, I want to add this in here. I really like what I was reading here, that it runs on a new version of SteamOS that's designed for handheld use, and that Valve is the parent company of Steam, that says that they're going to be using what's called Proton, which is a compatibility layer that lets games run without developers having to do any porting work. So they don't have to port it. The games will work through this compatibility layer, so that means you'll have full access to your complete Steam library. You can expect to have access to Steam features like chat, remote play, cloud saves, and the Steam storefront. It has built-in quick suspend and resume, so you can pick up and from where you left off. So it seems like they're giving a lot of thought to it, and you don't need to shell out a terrible amount of money for this unit. So the base model starts at $400. I know that seems like a lot when you compare it to the Nintendo Switch, which can be had, the new OLED models coming out. I think it's like $350 now. But take into account that the Switch still does not have the power that this device will have. Steam Deck has 16 gigs of RAM, which is far beyond anything that the Switch has.
Right.
Even if it's not an OLED screen,
and the Steam library, which
vast. Which I think is the best part of this, is if there was something to convince me to switch to something like this for portable gaming, it's the Steam library, because they constantly have sales. You can get games so cheap on the Steam library. I'm a big sucker for buying the indie Humble bundles on the Humble store, and they give you the Steam keys, and and Steam always has sales. It's like, oh, $5 for City Skylines and all the expansions. I'm like, okay, sure, why not? and then I never play a single one. So I like the fact that it can be had for cheap. What will drive up the cost, though, is if you want more storage. So the base model has 64 gigs. You can jump up to 256 for $520. You can get that 0.5 terabyte solid-state drive for $650, which is a bit steep of an asking price when talking about a portable console. Also, Steam says they're going to be coming out with a dock sold separately. So if you want to connect this to a TV, you're going to have to wait for the dock to come out. That will be probably an additional cost there. So when you're comparing it to the Switch, way more expensive if you want the dock and more storage, but you can use an SD card. You don't have to jump up to the 512 gigabyte solid state drive. You can go with the base model. It's an interesting proposition. I want to see how it's supported first. I want to know if the games run well on it, what that compatibility is like. Because me obviously having a Mac, I don't have access to a lot of those PC games that I would love to play, those simulation games, even if it is with a controller, which isn't as good. So, I would love to get my hands on something like this, and use the peripherals with it. So you can connect, mice and keyboards and monitors and everything, that the dock will have ports for everything. So I'm interested to see, how this is supported. Yeah. And how it actually performs. Shipping is going to start in December of this year, so it's not that far away.
Nope. And I think it'll be interesting to see the Steam library compete against the Nintendo library in the mobile console unit.
Yeah. I think Nintendo... So there have been other portable challengers. There was the Sega Game Gear. There was the PlayStation Portable, the PlayStation Vita. Nothing's been able to take down Nintendo when it comes to portables.
No.
So we'll see. We'll see if PC Master Race can take down Nintendo.
Yep, I'm interested to see that as well. Okay. Let's hit this last topic pretty quickly. We're running a little bit late after the after the cookie cookie chaos of 2021.
So real quick to continue with the video game news, there's been a little bit of interesting rumors bubbling over Netflix potentially partnering with Sony on a new gaming initiative. We've reported a few weeks ago that Netflix is looking to get into game streaming. And we also know that Sony wants to broaden its appeal into the PC space, by releasing some of their games on PC. So this might be the perfect marriage. Data miners revealed some interesting tidbits in the Netflix app code. They found imagery in the Netflix app, of a logo that has the Netflix N next to the word games, plus images for Sony DualShock controllers and PlayStation exclusive Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, very interesting.
Interesting development.
Very interesting development, especially considering that later in August, Sony will be releasing Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut with a new expansion pack attached to it and PlayStation 5 support. So people are wondering online, the imagery was found in the Netflix app. Like, the imagery is there. All they have to do is flip the switch, bring it live, whatever they have on the back end. Could this be in time for a director's cut release of Ghost of Tsushima? This seems like the perfect match since Sony Pictures and Netflix also recently signed a deal in which Sony movies will come to Netflix first after theatrical runs. So they already have a strong partnership here. It makes sense to, integrate more of those services. What do you think, Rich? Instead of PlayStation focusing on PlayStation Now, and instead of Netflix making their own games or, trying to persuade all these individual developers, why don't they just sign a mega deal with Sony?
Well, I'll tell you what, this news was so serious that it stopped the GameStop stock bubble. Like that's GME, the stock was on a roll.
Yeah.
And then this news hit and it came crashing back down to earth. So
they just don't want us to make money, Rich.
No, they don't. But this is significant news that the industry is believing this is legit. This is going to happen.
They found the images in the app code.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you would have to mess up real bad if, like, you just, as a developer, were just like, I'm just going to put images of Ghost of Tsushima, which isn't a Netflix property, isn't a TV show or movie, into the code of the app. Like,
I just really like that image.
I just really like that image, yeah. And images of DualShock controllers, like...
Yeah. No particular reason whatsoever.
No reason whatsoever. Considering the fact that it, like, looks like thumbnail art. You know what I mean? Like it's designed to be like a thumbnail. So it'll be interesting. Netflix has the infrastructure, right? I mean, look at how seamlessly Netflix streams 4K content.
Yeah.
I load up a 1080p video on YouTube, and YouTube's like, I don't know how to do this.
I can load up the ad.
I can load up the ad. Perfect.
But I can't load
you
up
want to watch
video.
this 2-minute clip of Chef Ramsay making eggs? Forget about it. You'll be here until tomorrow. Netflix can pull 4K HDR content, no problem. I swear. It's like magic. So if there's a company that might be able to crack this video game streaming thing, maybe Netflix. I don't know.
Yep.
What do you think?
It could work. It could work. Netflix has been the pioneer in terms of all these streaming developments.
We all keep talking about some company finding the Netflix of games. Maybe
Why not Netflix itself?
Maybe Netflix will be the Netflix of games.
Yeah. We'll find out and keep an eye on that in the future. But for right now, we got to wrap up the entertainment entree, and we got to move right along into the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Mandada basata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts. That'll be $4, baby. You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meat tornado.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders, go to the bathroom, because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news. He reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story, keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to in the odd news?
All right. Well, you know what? It's time to get, a little bit angry.
Uh-oh.
There is something seriously wrong in this country.
Oh.
It is a very important issue.
Oh my gosh.
We need to address this right now.
Oh no.
All over North America. This is a problem. It should be illegal to do this.
You betray the law.
Oh my gosh.
It requires Stallone to get angry.
You betray the law!
This sounds super serious. What's going on?
Very important, all right? This should be upheld in all the courts.
I am the law!
Yes, very important.
Okay. What is this very serious, important, dramatic thing?
That is the fact that when you go to the grocery store,
okay,
there's hot dogs and hot dog buns.
Yes. Yes.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
Yes, because the number of hot dogs and the number of hot dog buns do not sync up.
They're never the same.
No, they're not. You always have to buy, too many buns, basically, or you just have to do hot dogs without buns, or you have to use like a piece of white bread. Did you ever do that as a kid?
Yes. It's not right. It's not fair. The hot dog to hot dog bun ratio is always off. It's never accurate. This
should be a crime.
This is a crime
This is a crime.
against all of us cooking in July.
That's right.
This is a problem that needs...
Because you always end up with too many buns then. If you buy enough buns for all the hot dogs, what are you going to do with all these buns?
Yes, this is a problem that needs to be tackled. And the best part is that this was actually referenced in a very good movie called Father of the Bride. It was it was a remake of the 1950 films but this was made in 1991, starring Steve Martin. And I would like to play the clip so that everyone can see our struggle of why there's not the appropriate ratio of hot dog to hot dog buns.
Okay.
So
all right.
Let's play the clip.
Let's play the clip.
But mellowing out was not in the cards.
Excuse me, sir. What are you doing?
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I want to buy 8 hot dogs and 8 hot dog buns to go with them. But no one sells 8 hot dog buns. They only sell 12 hot dog buns. So I end up paying for 4 buns I don't need. So I am removing the superfluous buns.
I'm sorry, sir, but you're going to have to pay for all 12 buns. They're not marked individually.
Yeah. You want to know why? Because some big shot over at the Wiener Company got together with some big shot over at the Bun Company and decided to rip off the American public. Because they think the American public is a bunch of trusting nitwits who'll pay for things they don't need rather than make us stink. Well, they're not ripping off this nitwit anymore because I'm not paying for one more thing I don't need. George Banks is saying no.
Who's George Banks?
Me!
Yes, we've had enough.
Man.
We have had enough. It is time to address this.
Okay.
And luckily, we actually have a brand new ally on this case.
Okay. Oh, God.
That is because I am happy to say that Heinz of Canada is officially going to submit to the government that this should be a petition that will go into law. You know how we have change.org?
Right.
Canada, whatever their equivalent is, they are doing so and formally requesting this in their government.
Wow.
They are calling it the Heinz Hot Dog Pact.
Yes!
And,
I love it.
And if Canada can do it, why can't we do it? We're America, all right? It's about time that we address this issue.
And I've been waiting all week to have a hot dog and a hamburger.
Your dad has been waiting all week for a hot dog and
all
a hamburger.
Week.
And you're going to deny him because you run out of hot dogs and you have too many hot dog buns and not enough hot dogs?
It's insanity.
It is time to address this issue.
And I've been waiting all week to have a hot dog and a hamburger.
So this is legit. The Legacy Ketchup brand that touts itself as the uniter of buns and wieners for over 150 years has started a petition for hot dog injustice and is asking for its consumers to get personally involved in hopes of putting an end to these uneven packs of wieners and buns once and for all.
This is quite possibly the one thing in this world that could unite
everybody,
people across the globe.
This is an issue.
I mean, people will lay down their arms. They will embrace over this. This is something that could create. I think this is bordering on world peace.
This is an issue that Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, libertarians.
If you love your country, if you have any love for America,
do the right thing here.
Think about it. When you think of America and hot dogs, I mean, is there a more perfect union?
Obviously not.
No.
And I've been waiting all week to have a hot dog and a hamburger.
That's right.
Frank Costanzo demands his hot dogs.
Like my dad said, it's an American holiday. We're going to have American hamburgers and hot dogs.
Yes.
No sausages.
No, it's not a time for sausage. It's a time for hot dog justice that needs to be served. and we have the Heinz Canada company. Unfortunately, Heinz America. You guys got to get on this now.
Yeah.
Heinz Canada is being more American right now than you guys are. We need to have the American side of the Heinz Corporation take up arms, and we need to lead this charge.
I think we can do it. I think we can do it.
Yes. Come on.
Stand up for what you know is right. And support
equal hot dog buns.
I don't even know where I'm going with this.
Equal hot dog meat for everybody. I guess they're just hot dogs. I don't know why I said meat at the
Equal
end.
hot dog meat?
Hot dogs, sorry.
That sounds so awful. Like just the slurry that you make hot dogs out of.
Whatever. The point is they need to stop this injustice. It's time to fix this. If Canada can do it, the United States of America can do this. All right?
Damn straight.
We made the damn hot dogs.
Damn straight.
All right?
Preach, Rich.
So get off your ass, all your politicians, the Heinz Corporation of America, because Canada did it first. So Heinz America, you got to get on this.
Look. Wage inequality and health care and student loans and immigration and foreign wars. This is the national debt. These issues don't matter.
No.
They don't matter.
No.
What matters, imagine if you had the correct number of hot dog buns and hot dogs, all those issues, they probably solve themselves.
The world would be a much better place.
Much better. Much better.
All right.
This one singular change could change the face of human history.
Yes. Also, I didn't read the tagline. The Heinz Hot Dog Packs tagline is 10 wieners, 10 buns, it's time.
I love it.
That's all you need to know right there. Simple.
That's
straight,
math. That's math right there.
Right to the point. That's what you need to know.
I love it.
Also, another little fun fact. Apparently, July, I mean, it makes sense. July is National Hot Dog Month. I guess for 4th of July makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. And Amazon.
Wait, Rich, is this just marketing? No.
No.
They wouldn't do this. No.
This is justice. This is liberty. This is freedom.
God bless America.
God bless my hot dogs.
Oh, my God.
Put the buns on and the meat on.
Grilling hot dogs all day and all night. I don't know. This is...
I feel like
I don't know what's happening.
I feel like I went Alex Jones there for a minute.
You really did. We're talking about hot dogs like he talks about bone broth.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard Alex Jones talk about bone broth?
I'm getting sweaty. How does Alex Jones do this?
He eats more hot dogs.
Oh my gosh. Getting sweaty talking about hot dogs over here. But another fun fact I want to mention. Amazon has reported that searches for hot dogs increases 300% in
why are people searching for
July.
hot dogs on Amazon?
I guess some people get their hot dogs from Amazon.
Ew. I'm not trying to buy hot dogs off of Amazon. Could you imagine getting hot dogs delivered in your mailbox?
Got a wiener for you.
Oh no, I'm gonna look up hot dogs.
Yeah, apparently you can look it up.
I mean, I guess they're sold.
Yeah. I mean, Whole Foods.
Whole Foods. Yeah.
So it works out.
I guess it works.
You wouldn't think about that, but it does. Some people.
You can get a 10-pound box.
Yes.
Of frozen Oscar Mayer hot dogs for $93.
Yes. God bless America.
God bless America.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yes.
How many hot dogs are in 10 pounds of hot dogs?
I don't know. Does it say?
Somebody's asking, are they quarter-pound hot dogs?
Oh, it depends on the weight of the hot dog.
Oh, my God. So if it's 10 pounds, I can do this math.
If you get a quarter-pound
wiener. So it's 4 hot dogs to a pound. So it's 4 times 10. That's 40 hot dogs.
Yes.
That's what we need in our lives.
We want 40 hot dogs.
hot, 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 hot diggity hot diggity hot diggity. This kind of thing that just tickles my balls. Hot diggity hot diggity. This kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
Yeah, there you go. Hot diggity dog.
I love it.
Tickle your balls. Get a hot dog. Demand hot dog justice. It is time. 10 hot dog.
10 hot dogs, 10 buns.
10 buns. America. Justice. Liberty.
Freedom.
Liberty.
And hot dogs.
And hot dogs. Liberty gets twice.
Liberty gets twice. And hot dogs only gets one.
Yeah. Hot dogs again.
Hot dogs again.
Yeah.
So the official slogan is...
Utah, get me 2.
So wait, the official slogan is freedom, liberty. What was it?
I don't know. We have to replay that back. Whatever it was.
I love it.
Liberty and hot dog. Get me 2.
Give me 2.
Utah, get me 2.
2 liberties and 2 hot dogs.
So.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
There you go. We need to make that a thing here in America. If they can do it
Absolutely.
If they can do it in Canada, why not here?
They don't even know what a hot dog is.
They don't even know what that sandwich is called.
I've been to Canada exactly twice in my life and never had a hot dog there. I mean, that doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything.
But I'm just saying. I've never had a hot dog in Canada. I don't think they know what they are.
Okay. Well, I think they do because they have this campaign that's
I don't believe it.
They're about to know what hot dogs are.
They're about to find the joys of pink slurry meat in a tube.
This is going to be a movement all across the nation.
Man, I haven't had a hot dog in a minute.
Well, we
should go to a baseball game and get some dollar
We need
dogs.
to change that.
Yeah.
So you need to go with Frank and go get your hot dogs.
Yes.
And I've been waiting all week to have a hot dog and a hamburger.
So, whew, there you go.
Man, we got heated over some hot dogs there.
That's what I have for you this week in the Non-Fortune Cookie Odd News. Hot dog justice. Get it done.
America. Don't you forget.
Liberty.
Justice, freedom, liberty, hot dogs.
I fight for truth, justice,
and the hot dog way.
The hot dog way. America. All right. So there you go. With that, our patriotism has signified, I think, the sign that we should start to close the podcast because we're starting to go off the rails here.
Yeah.
The end of the night is starting to make us go a little crazy here. But I think that was a good story to end on.
Oh, yeah. I love it. That was good. Hey, who doesn't like a good hot dog story?
Who doesn't like a good hot dog?
I like hot dogs.
Everybody should love hot dogs.
They're tasty.
Yeah.
Are you a ketchup or a mustard guy?
Everything.
Oh, there
Load
you go.
it up.
There you go.
Load that hot dog up.
You like a Chicago dog.
Load that baby up. That's what I say.
Okay.
That's what I say.
We really got to end the show because we're getting crazy.
I don't care what you say. I don't know why I sound like I had an accent. I'm J.W. Pepper, and I want a loaded hot dog. Load it up.
What is happening?
I don't know. We got to wrap up the episode.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Here we go. We got to wrap this episode up.
Rich, where can they find the Crispy Noodle Podcast?
You can wrap this baby up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the podcast services. You know where to find us.
That's right. You can also find us on YouTube, podcast service of your choice, including iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast, Stitcher, and Amazon devices. Look us up. We're everywhere. So many places to get in touch with and share the Crispy Noodle Podcast. You can also get in touch with us individually on Twitter to share your sports, entertainment, or odd news stories. Tell us about how much you support equal hot dog and bun matchup-ness of things. It's too late, Rich.
Equality. Hot dogs.
Find
America.
us on Twitter and tell me what the proper terminology is. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us on the Twitters. Let us know what's happening. Let us know how you take your hot dogs. And let us know if there's any stories you want us to talk about on future episodes of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. But yeah, we're going a little cuckoo for hot dogs.
Yeah. Not Cocoa Puffs.
No, not for Cocoa Puffs, for hot dogs. So we got to wrap this up. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.